What's up, y'all? Jay Roos Theory back at you. This goes out to one of my subscribers, and seems like a real cool guy. Always comments on my videos and makes some great points about boxing and just some other things. His page that he goes under is called Yeah Click Clack, and I'm just now seeing a comment he made on one of my videos about a month ago or something like that. He was saying, "Have I made a video about some of the sports I used to play?" So this is for you, homie. I started off in Pop Warner. I'm going way back, ain't I? Chula Vista Aztecs, number 7. I was like Michael Vick before Michael Vick. My receivers were so slow. By the time they got to their route, I had to run it just so I wouldn't get sacked. I scored 2 touchdowns in one game against Mira Mesa, breaking all kind of tackles. Our home field was Chula Vista High School. Great memories. Um, I wanted to be like receiver or tailback, but the coach put me at quarterback, so that's what I played. And we just had a terrible team, man. I remember we were getting beat so bad. It was probably by Balboa or something. Their uniforms looked like the Oakland Raiders. Anyway, when I went to the sideline, my coach, I still remember his name, Coach Mosley. This dude was hard on me. This dude was using foul language. I'm like 12 years old. I'm like, dude, they were all military dudes, though. They were real tough. But anyway, he called me to the sideline. He's like, man, you don't deserve to play for this team. Like, you're putting your all out there, and they're just not giving you what you need. Not bigging myself up. That's just facts. Um, yeah, I was out of my element kind of as quarterback because I was kind of shy, but we used to play street football in Southeast San Diego. That was my thing. So when I went to Chula Vista, I just stood out. I could juke guys, I could pass everything. Um, Went to high school, played wide receiver for the Hilltop Lancers. Um, Kind of joined late. It was something about my grades from what I remember. It was kind of a racist school at the time. Now it's mainly Hispanic from what I understand. But I remember my first play in the game, they called a streak. I went down the sideline, touchdown, first play. First play I was in the game, touchdown. And I didn't even start. I don't think I started after that either. I'm like, wow, what I got to do? I score on my first play and I still can't, I can't start. And it was like a 60-yard or 70-yard touchdown. Got that on VHS. Need to get that transferred digitally too. But used to play for Hilltop Lancers. Then around the 11th grade, I transferred over to Lincoln High and didn't play sports there. It's like, I don't know. My mind was in the girls or something, unfortunately, and I just lost focus and interest in football. Um, I always liked boxing, to be honest. That was my first real interest, but it was like boxing and football were like close. I was a big Charger fan, as you guys know, but yeah, it's like I just lost interest in football at the time. I was dating a girl that was like a year or two older than me, and looked a lot like Sally Richardson. You know her, the actress. She was East Indian, and she was real cool. And it still looks good to this day. I saw a photo of her recently, and she looked maybe even better. But yeah, so I lost interest in that, and began boxing years and years later, and Southeast San Diego under Billy Moore, Archie Moore's son, and he was training me. And I was trained too by Ernest Jackson. He was a real good trainer, man. He was teaching me how I could just win a fight with my jab, and he was working with this other fighter that was fresh out the penitentiary, and we sparred, and I just jabbed the mess out of that dude. He wouldn't even swing at one point, and Ernest Johnson, the trainer, he said, man, he knows like he should know how to get away. He should know how to get out of the way of that jab. We worked on jab drills, but it's like once he tasted the power, he didn't want no parts of it. He didn't want to mix it up, and I knew how to do. Lennox Lewis was and is still my favorite fighter. And I learned from him to how to put my weight on people's back and on their neck. So I would lean on them and put my weight on them and it would weaken their legs, little tricks like that. And yeah, I remember we went to a smoker fight. It was in Imperial Beach, San Diego, California, and that guy that I sparred with, I don't want to call him an ex-con, but I can't remember his name. But it was something like Maurice or Morris. Anyway, we were hanging out, at Ernest Johnson's house, and we were eating and all, and watching. I think it was a fight at the time or something. And we went to a smokers fight, and we sat by each other. Smoker fights or fights that aren't sanctioned, and we were sitting by each other just watching. And he actually moved down from heavyweight because of that sparring match we had. He said I just couldn't take the power. He said he was it him. Yeah, he said he couldn't take the power, so he moved down. He was like, my jab, he said when I hit him with a jab, it was moving his whole body. And I remember I sparred with this Mexican guy, real good fighter. He was like a middleweight or something. I remember he used to always wear them suits that make you sweat trying to lose weight. And this guy was real quick. But he actually told me that he could feel my punch when I missed him. Like I would throw a hook or something and miss him. He said he could feel my power. But the first time I sparred was against this big British guy. His name was Alex something, and I wonder where he is today. Guy was either 6'6" or 6'7". He was trained by, excuse me, Lisa Lake's dad. Used to be former NBA player. Used to work with Ken Norton. Real tall guy. I think he was in the NBA or something. Anyway, this guy was like 6'6", 6'7", and I hadn't sparred before. But I'm outside watching him spar another guy named Tony. I'm like, man, I could beat this guy. So I go into the ring with him, and man, this dude was as strong as all get out. I mean, we would clinch, and neither of us would go back. I try to push him, he wouldn't move. He tried to push me, I would move. I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude. And then he would like nudge me with a shoulder, hit me in the chin. Excuse me. I had on headgear and everything, but your chin's exposed, so this dude was strong. And then I remember near the end of the round, now remember, this is my first time sparring, so I'm kind of in relaxed mode. This dude hits me in the stomach, like the solar plexus knocked the air out of me. I'm like, oh my gosh. I remember thinking, is this something I really want to do right here? And I'm trying to suck air, and I'm thinking, please don't hit me here again. And thank the Most High, the bell rung right there, and that was it for that round. But I was like, oh man, I'm glad he didn't hit me there again. That was the hardest punch I'd ever taken. And I remember after the sparring session, Alex says to me, man, he said, you have a lot of power. I can feel it. And I'm thinking, wow, really? I was thinking, wow, I didn't notice. I was like, this dude was strong, man. I mean, I sparred many times after that, and I never fought anybody that was as strong as that dude from England. This dude was strong. Throat's dry from all this talking. I've never clinched a guy and not being able to move him back. I couldn't budge this guy, and he didn't budge me either, but I couldn't move this dude. Super strong. So, but after that, it was hard to find sparring. I mean, and then when I did, it was mainly left-handers, southpaw, so it was awkward. So, and then I ended up moving to Georgia, so things fell apart. I said in another video, I think some guy from Vegas, can't remember his name, a Hispanic guy, hooked me up with Jeff Mayweather. We used to text each other, and he'd give me advice. Like I'd ask, like, what should I eat before a fight? And he'd tell me pasta or something. And we ended up stopped talking over. I told him something political. He got mad at me. We never texted again. I never talked to him on the phone or nothing, but we used to text each other. He seemed pretty cool, Jeff Mayweather. If you hear this, Jeff, do you remember me? I was in Georgia at the time, still in Georgia. But yeah, I used to get advice from him. So yeah, played Pop Warner football, high school football, boxed. I'm good at basketball too. I was able to touch the rim at age 13. Had to run from the other side of the court just to do it though. And had size 13 shoes, in junior high. And I was always good at blocking people's shots and always great at three-pointers. I remember me and my buddy Daryl would go to various parks, and we'd be shooting three-pointers and just, we'd be playing horse. shooting 3-pointers. I made like something like 12 in a row. No cap. You can ask my boy Daryl. Like 12 in a row. And I would sometimes just turn my back, turn around, and just launch them, and they would go. It's like I could shoot all day without getting tired. And I don't know if I ever told you guys this story. We were playing at Emerald Hills Park. That's like a gang park in San Diego. We were playing at night, and it's in this big fence. And we're in there shooting baskets, and my buddy's girlfriend is walking outside the fence, like jogging while we shoot baskets. And way in the distance, I see this crazy looking dude with like a cowboy hat on, this black dude. And he's like, as it closer he gets, he's just got his hand in his shirt like this. I'm like, what's this dude doing? And then I was like, hey, I was telling my buddy Daryl, I was like, hey, what's up with this dude right here? And he's like, the dude's just talking to himself, walking right outside the gate. So I'm like, yeah, I think it's time for us to bounce right about now because we're pretty much sitting ducks trapped right there inside the fence. And, he's outside the gate reaching in his jacket and he's walking by, looking back at us, talking to himself. So I'm like, me and my buddy trying not to panic. He's still shooting baskets and I'm trying to work my way towards a little gate to get out. And so we ended up leaving. And my buddy Daryl's looking at his girlfriend like, hey, come on. So we got up out of there. I don't know what that dude had planned, or he looked like he was high on something, but I wasn't about to be no sitting duck trapped inside a fence like that. Yeah, that's crazy. And then after that, my buddy Daryl wanted to go back there and shoot baskets. I'm like, nah. I was like, I ain't got nothing to prove. I ain't about to go back to that place. We shoot baskets again. We went to this, I was like, we got to find somewhere that's a little better area. So we went to this like indoor gym where everybody was playing basketball. But yeah, I never played basketball, on a team or nothing like that, but always had skill with the 3-pointers, probably because I lift weights all the time. I would never get tired just launching them. And yeah, it's for you. Yeah, click clack. Thought I'd let you know about the sports I played, And I still say you should make a YouTube channel. You know a lot about boxing. A lot of channels out there have boxing channels, but really, when I listen to what they say, I can tell they really don't know much about the sport. So you should come on and break everybody off with some of your knowledge about pugilism. Anyway, it's the J. Roos Theory. Beat down the like button. Comment, share, subscribe. Be fearless. Thank you for watching and reminiscing with me. And have a great night. Yay, yay.